Okay, so welcome everyone to the Intention Intensive Challenge. I am Aunt Carla from Marie Lazo, and for the next 3 weekends, we are going to be talking about how to plan for a 2021 that is the way you choose, or to plan hopefully the best year of your life, or at least a really good one, or at least the one better than this one. And this year has given us so many crazy things that we just didn't expect, and there's so many things that we cannot plan for. But my one of my goals is to at least help us to kind of think about what it is that we want to do in the new year. So today we're in December, and a lot of us are thinking about, okay, it's the end of the year, and this year it might have been not that great. And we're thinking about, okay, January is 2021, it's a new year. What are we going to do? What are we going to have going on? We want to start off with a clean slate. And people tend to think about resolutions or new goals. They're like, it's a new year, I want everything to be different. So that is where we are today, right? So I want to help you get what you want. So if you don't know who I'm Aunt Carla from Marie Lazo, and I believe that most of the people who are listening live, I think you've probably attended one of these courses before, classes, and some of you might be seeing this on the replay later, and you might not know who I am. So I'm Aunt Carla, and I'm on Marie Lazo on Instagram. Now I'm doing something different in that everyone is getting free replays. So it's like Oprah, you get a replay, you get a replay, you get a replay, because I want you all to take this in, work on this stuff, and I'm going to give you an assignment. And that's very important to remember, that this is not going to be that long. This isn't going to be like our usual 2-3 hour kind of training, because I want to keep the replay short for people, because I think if I send something that's like 3-4 hours long, people will be like, oh my God, I can't get to it. And I really want to make this like accessible to everyone who signs up for it. So if someone happens to get this and they weren't able to attend live, but they're watching it, you're watching the replay later, I want them to feel like, okay, this is digestible, this is doable. So for that same reason, I'm going to do a lot of training or chatting ahead of time. And I will have questions, but more at the end, because I also know that some of you hate when I go on tangents, and I hear that, I take that feedback. I will, I'm learning like we're all learning. So I'm so excited to talk about manifesting or living your best life, because this is something that I know personally. So I want to show you a picture of me then and now. Okay, well, this is using tarot cards, but this is a representation of me then and now. So this is my 10-year challenge. Do you remember we did that earlier this year? That was last year. 2010, that was my 5 of Pentacles. I was definitely in a 5 of Pentacles kind of place. I had been living with this guy, and I don't want to say any names. I will say the sex was good, but that was about it. He wasn't working. He would just go off on these like anger tangents, not at me, but he just had issues, really. And he was always getting upset about things, and I was always putting out fires. Now, I'm a musician, some of you know that. And as a musician, it's important for me to express myself, because we have artists here, right? We have artists in the group, and it's so important for us to express ourselves. But when I was in this relationship, when we were living together for about 3 years, I did not perform once. I realize now that he was taking all of my energy, and I feel like I was so busy trying to keep him calm, or to keep status quo, that I didn't have time to do my art. And then I had like a corporate job, and then I got fired. And then that was in 2008. And the thing is, I wanted to work for myself. So I wanted to, work from home. So that was kind of cool, getting fired or laid off, because it had a severance plan. But by 2010, I already spent all my money. I was broke as a joke. It was really not a good time. And then the guy that I had been with, he cheated on me. And I left that relationship and I moved out, and I moved to like this small tiny room, which was like just a bedroom. That's really all I had, in someone else's apartment. And I lived there actually, well, I thought I was only going to be there for 3 months, and I thought that me and this guy were going to get back together, but I ended up being there 10 years. But I actually did end up getting back with that guy after he got evicted. I like that. And I say all of this to say, I know struggle. I know what it's like. And I had him move back in with me because he had a job as a taxi driver at that point, and I needed that money. Now, who here in this room has been in a relationship much longer than you needed to be because you could not afford to leave? I would like a yes. And give me a yes. Who has been? Yes, 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 girl. Yeah, me. Yes. When you're in a relationship and you know you need to go, but you can't because you can't afford it. And I'm like, this freaking dude, I can't even, like, I cannot stand him. At this point, he's staying with me in the small apartment, in the small room in someone else's apartment, being the same asshole he ever was. And I cannot get him to leave. And because also I was afraid. I was afraid that if I were to kick him out, he was going to be eating out of the garbage. Anyone have that feeling? Like you're like, you know that this person has to go, but who's going to look out for him? So Ashes, I stayed because I felt like I needed to help him. That was me. I was in that place. Compassion and empathy. Yeah, but a little foolishness too, because he's a grown man. And I was like, if I kick him out, he will be eating out of garbage cans, and then there'll be and I will feel awful. However, hope came on the way. One day he tells me he's met someone else. And so this other person was going to take care of him. And I have to tell you, if I think about like all the different high points in my life, like all the wonderful days that I said, wow, this is a really great day, that was one of them. Because someone else was going to be someone else's problem. And I was no longer feeling guilty. I had no reason to feel guilty because I felt like I did everything I was supposed to do. I looked out for him. I gave him a place to stay, and he cheated on me again, right? Like I was not paying attention to those past patterns. But when he told me that he had met someone else and he was going to start this new relationship, I was the happiest girl ever. That was like probably one of my top 10 days in all of my life. I will say that. And I remember when he told me, I was happy. And you know what he said? He said, do you have to be so celebratory? I was like, yes, because I was guilt free. I could let him walk out because I knew I was ready then. So I'm just telling you, this is all the struggle that I was going through. And then 2012, then by that point, I was really trying to work on my own, but I really wasn't making any money. I was struggling again. I was unemployed. I was taking unemployment, and I was just floundering. So again, I'm letting you know, this is my story. I was in a place of like, whoo. Oh, anyone have a prepaid phone? I had a prepaid phone, and it would get cut off every so often because I wouldn't be able to pay the bill. And like me and my friends, I had a bunch of friends, and we were all kind of in that same kind of circle, and we would like make jokes. We'd be like, oh yeah, my phone's on vacation. That shit ain't funny, But at that time, we're like, oh, well, my phone's off right now, so you're going to have to send me an email or something. But I'm letting you know, I know struggle. I'm just being really straight up with this. Maria Burke says, damn girl, and now you're in Briarcliff Manor. Exactly. So now, fast forward to 2020, the Empress card. That's me. And then, by the way, the Empress card happens to be my favorite card in yes, look at God, exactly. And the Empress card is my favorite card in the deck. So to have this card represent me now, it's like, wow. And again, it's the end of the year. I'm thinking about the past. I'm thinking about all the stuff that has happened to me over the years. And I'm doing my yearly review, my 10-year review. And I'm like, wait, I have come a really long way. really long way. Now, also, I've always been magical. I've always known the stuff I know now, but I wasn't practicing like I practice now. So 2020 Empress card, this is me. This is me thriving. This is me working from home. This is me performing. This is me writing music and writing musicals. This is me married happily, by the way. This is me following my dreams. This is me living my dream to talk to you guys today, to be able to share my information and share what I've learned. This is a dream for me. And I'm like, I am living my dream. So I feel like if I can get from that place to this place, I definitely can, any of you can as well. And I want to help you. So yeah, I'm living my best life. Yes, I am. And I just want to take that moment of gratitude and say, whew, thank you. So, and I will take you one step further. So I found my scripting journal from last year. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read you a passage. January 2nd, 2019. I love working from our new home. I'm so grateful that my online business enables me to work from home while helping thousands of people each year. I'm grateful also for the wild success of our Christmas musical, Santa's Reindeer Ranch. Now, you wouldn't know this, but when I wrote this, I wasn't living with my current husband. We were living in two different towns, two different cities. We weren't engaged. We clearly weren't married. We weren't living in the same place. We had written this musical, but we hadn't, nothing had really happened with it yet. And I wasn't working from home. I was temping. So when I found this last night, by the way, and I was like, oh shit, since I wrote this, I got married, got engaged, married, we live together, we have a really nice place. Our musical is going to be released tomorrow. So on this right-hand side, this is me as one of the characters. So the play, our musical, Santa's Reindeer Ranch, was, what was it? It was a theater group got a grant to produce the show last year, but thanks to COVID, we couldn't do any live shows. So the theater company came to me and my husband and we're like, well, we have to do something with the money. Would you guys want to do the show yourselves and we'll give you the money? And we're like, yes. Now we didn't know what the hell we were going to do. Okay. We did not know. But then, thank you. But if you look at me on the right side, I'm wearing a blue wig and I'm behind a blue screen. So my husband and I basically created, you don't want to see all this stuff that's behind here, but there's a big green screen taking over the cottage. And that's where we have filmed this musical all week. And tomorrow it becomes real. So you'll be hearing about that and you can check it out at santasreindeerranch.net. So I'm not telling you all of this stuff to be like, oh, look at me. It's not that. It's just like, holy shit. I did this. I did this with the power that's within me, and you all have power within you. So my intention for today is to help you achieve your major manifestation or manifestations in 2021. So this right here is you. This is the Magician card. The Magician card, I love it whenever it comes in a reading because it is a reminder for anyone I'm reading for to remind that person that you are always in control. You have the power to create whatever it is that you want to manifest. Many of us, we feel like, oh, well, I couldn't do that, or who am I to do that, or I don't really know anything about that. Well, why not? Why not you? And, I'm not saying you're wearing Afro puff or, you're a female or anything. Whoever you are, this Magician card represents your power to change your life, to make shit happen. Can I get an amen? Yes, it is a hype card. Yes, it is, Arden. You don't have to say amen if that's not your thing, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's so true. We all have this power within us. I am not special. I have, I could do stuff, but all of us here have this power within us. And if you're coming from a Christian background, for example, many of us might have have like family members say things to us like, well, magic is like devil's work, or you have to go to church in order to do all these things. Yes, Tanessa, I know you had a great year and I'm so proud of you. And that you have to go to this church and you have to go to this building and pray on your knees and do this before that can happen. I'm here to tell you that's bullshit. And I'm not saying anything bad about Christianity, but I'm saying that the power that exists in this world exists within you. And if you are feeling any kind of shakiness about maybe I shouldn't do this, or I feel weird because my grandmother doesn't approve, I just want to remind you, this is your life to lead. And this is your power that I want to untap today, tomorrow, and forever. So let's move on. I want to ask a question, everyone, and please let me know. What do you want to create in 2021? What do y'all want to do? Let me know. Yes, Jesus definitely did a ton of magic. What do y'all want to create? What are your intentions? Come on, tell me. Financial abundance. Write my first book. Yes, stability. A school to teach people how to read energy, authentic living, get a business off the ground, published writer, homeowner. Yes, book and big movie, financial, spiritual business, travel. I love this. I'm like, I can't even keep up. Work from home, away from my country. New career and moving my boyfriend, a healthy relationship, book writing, health, YouTube, get closer to the life I desire, quit nursing and start my wellness and spiritual business. Real friends, my own farm. Oh, I love that. Love myself and become a better mother. Generational wealth. Wow, start an apothecary, homemade crafts business, creating content. This is so awesome. Wealth, I like that. A level up version of me. Get my art into the world. Yes. Professor position, husband, side business, a big year. Build wealth, leave job. Anyone have like leave husband, leave partner? That used to be me. Leave job, abundance, finish my, Okay, already left him. Good job, Kat. Dream home. Hand fasting ceremony, possibly. I want that for you too, Platypus. Write a screenplay. There you go. Grow spiritually within myself and family. So now the thing I love, that everyone is different. Everyone has their own special, their own desires, their own needs. I look sometimes at Instagram and there's a lot of people who have kind of like what they think is supposed to be the hot thing on Instagram. So you'll see people with like carefully curated pictures and colors, and they'll have it look really pretty. And then you'll have other people that it won't look as necessarily that perfect, but you can tell that this person is doing what they want to do. They're sharing really cool, they're sharing cool content or fun things that they're into. And it might not look like what someone else would define as, oh, it's so pretty, but that's okay, because your definition of success is not my definition. It's not that other person. But the thing is, you need to know what you want, because once you know what you want, then we can work to make it happen. Yeah, I'm going to be more nurturing and calm with my kids. I love it. Hey, Carla, good to see you too. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so the first step, whatever it is that you want to do, today's topic is to prepare your intention. We want to prepare for whatever it is. We are not going to go blindly into 2021. We're not just going to be like, that fool card with the person right about to walk off the cliff and the dog is like barking at them like, wait. We're not going to do that. We are going to prepare. Now, things that we want, we probably have wanted for a while. A lot of us, the things that we're asking for, this isn't our first time asking for it. So we want to make sure that this year we are prepared. Now, there are reasons why we don't often get the thing that we want, or we don't get it right away. So I'm going to go through this for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be going over these 5 blocks and how to overcome them. So I want you to think about this, take notes on this one. And, if any insights come to you, definitely write them down. So the first one, I think, in my opinion, is not setting a magical foundation. So, not setting a, I'm going to break these down actually in a second. Not setting a magical foundation, setting too many goals, not creating protective boundaries around those manifestations, negative self-talk, and inertia, which is a desire to remain unchanged. I'm not going to call this laziness, because that's not really what inertia is. Inertia is just not doing anything. Like if you say, okay, I've gained X amount of pounds over the past few months and I need to lose some weight. You're like, okay, that's great. Now the next day, are you going to do something differently? If you just don't do anything different, that doesn't mean you're lazy. That just means you haven't made any changes. So inertia is the strongest force, actually. It's in, there's a saying, like, when something is already moving, when something in motion will stay in motion. But if something is just hanging out, it's just being still, it's going to remain still. So if you, there's so many things that we say that we want, but if we're just staying still and we're not making any changes, there's not going to be any change. This sounds oversimplified, but that's what it is. Yes, Arden says all of these are forms of mental resistance, which are not laziness. It's actually a defense mechanism. Exactly. This isn't about, yes, so it's not your fault. This is not me saying you have to do this, because sometimes we've gone through different things in our life. We've been disappointed, we've been hurt. And these are things that, we're afraid to want something. We're like, that would really be nice, but I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid to be let down. I'm afraid to put myself out there. And these are like defense mechanisms against fear. Fear is basically everything that these different official blocks are masking fear. And fear, that's just like our way of protecting ourselves. Back in the day, caveman time, you would protect yourself. You didn't want to do things like, or your ancestors' time, caveman times. You don't want to go out your cave and be eaten by some, behemoth monster or some, dinosaur or something. And we still have that kind of fight or flight reactions, even when it's something smaller. It could be something like ask that person out for a date, or write that book, write that first page, write that first chapter. We still will feel that resistance. So before we can go forward to step forward and to make those steps towards our goals, we have to look at our blocks. So it comes back to shadow work all over again. And this isn't like shadow work in a big, like, oh, we're going to be crying about it kind of thing. This is more like, what is keeping me from getting what I want? What's happening? Where am I getting in my own way? What needs to be done before I can move forward? Does anyone have any opinion on this? All right, I'm moving on. So, thank you. All right, so we're going to start first. I'm going to break down not setting a magical foundation. But before I do that, I will talk a little bit about setting too many goals. Now, there's so much that I want in this life, But depending on what else is going on with you, you might want to focus on one or two big things and watch it when it comes to, like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, because having too many things on your plate gets overwhelming and it's hard to begin. So be careful when it comes to setting too many goals. Now, not creating protective boundaries, that's about when you have your goal and other people, you might tell other people and they might be very critical. And has it ever happened to you, like when you had a dream and you tell someone about it, or you're like, oh, I really want to do this thing, and then they say something that hurts your feelings and it kind of like takes the power out of you? Like, I remember when I'm from Miami originally, and when I first I wanted to move to New York, I told one of my aunts, and she's like, who do you think you are? And I was like, oh. you know, like I never thought she would, you know, and wow, you know, and someone says something and you're like, oh, oh, you know, someone who puts you in your place or tell you not to, not to, not to, not to dream so big, you know, and to keep it manageable. And that's not really what I'm about. But you want to protect that dream just like you would protect a baby. And then of course next we're going to be dealing more with more of this like next week, but I'm just like just going here a little bit. Negative self-talk, that's also when that those barriers come from within our heads. When it's one thing when you're like, okay, I'm going to talk to this person or I'm telling this person about what I want to do and they make fun of me or they put it down or they tell me 5 different reasons why I can't do it. But what if when it's coming from you, like, oh, I can't do that. Who do I think I am to do this thing? Or gosh, you know, I would have happened the last time I tried to do this thing and that didn't work, or I tried to do this thing and I got fired, or I lost money, or it didn't work. Well, you know, what if, or I don't think I'm really good at that thing. Like this is it's when it's coming from our own head, that's, you know, and that's so difficult. It's self-sabotage, exactly. It's self-sabotage, but it's negative self-talk. And then, as I said before, inertia is that desire to remain unchanged. Just sort of like, oh, well, I'm just gonna sit down and have some more chips. You know, this is just, you don't make the change. So these are just different blocks. As I said, we're gonna be talking more about them over over these like 3 weeks. But for today, I'm gonna be focusing on setting a magical foundation. Lenny says, I feel like one big thing is already full of many other big things. So already just the one thing is a lot too much. Now that makes sense too, because, you know, when we have this one big thing, whatever this one big thing is, if we haven't achieved it before now, there's clearly going to be some blocks around it. But there's also going to be a transformation that is required of you. So 2 things: one, to remove the blocks or to work with them, but also you're going to need to be a different person. Now, when I mean a different person, you're still going to be you, but there's going to be skills that you're going to need to learn. You're going to have to learn how to navigate this new world. So whether you want to write a book or you want to marry your soulmate, you want to have a baby, there are all of these things that require new skills. But remember that there's a lot of people who have done these things. Therefore, if other people have done it, you could definitely do it too. So you just have to figure out how to make it work for you and that person that you need to become in order to make that happen. We're going to figure out who you need to be so you can make that thing happen. All right, fantastic. So using magic as a first resort. So we were saying earlier that those many of those blocks are sort of like defense mechanisms. Well, magic and you know, our spirituality can be one of the tools that we use against it, to move behind it, to move past that. So when we think about, sometimes we think about magic as a last resort or spirituality as a last resort, like, oh, I need money to pay my rent, or oh, I need, you know, something. Well, how about spinning it so that you put magic and spirit into your intentions at the very beginning? So back in the day, I made about maybe $1,000 a month, I think. Yeah, I made about $1,000, and and living in New York City is not a lot of money. And I was always broke, always hungry, always didn't have anything. But yet I learned how to make that $1,000 stretch. You know, you've heard that song, trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents. Is there anyone who has like that talent, who can like take the littlest bit of money and make it stretch and make it like, you can make it last for exactly, right? And you're like, and it's a talent, right? There is a creativity and a magic in that. I learned that, like, wow, I can make my money last for a really long time. Exactly. Taylor says currently doing it. Well, let me give you another thought. I had a shift in thinking around 2012, I was doing a lot of mindset work around money. And something, it occurred to me that same creativity and, and power that I was using to stretch that $1,000 to cover is the same creativity that I could use to learn how to create more money in my life. Think about that. It is the same energy, it's the same creativity, but instead of coming from that place of survival, instead you're coming from a place of creation. You're like, how can I make 1,000 $2,000, or how can I make 1,000 $3,000? So it's that difference of coming from survival and coming into creativity. It's a shift of mindset. And I never thought that it was possible, but I'm telling you, if it's possible for me, it's possible for you. So remember, next time you are like this week, if you find yourself having to stretch some money, I want you to start thinking about, what if I was able to take the same creativity and stretch it so that I am making more money in the first place? Just a thought. Just a thought. Yeah. See, Shoshana says that's a total shift for me. So just a thought. So when it comes to whatever it is that you want to do, I want you to think of, when you're thinking about your manifestation, I'm going to give you some topics, some tools that you can use when you are planning your manifestation. And this is also why I'm going to say, don't necessarily have a whole bunch of intentions to plan, because it makes it sort of dilutes your magic. So think about the things that you want, but don't overwhelm yourself. So first, create a sacred space. So this here is a wealth altar that I created a while back. There is, you can see, you might be able to see there's some dollars in there. There's some money in there. But there's a singer, because I'm a singer. There's some like lucky cat statues. There's jade, pyrite. So in the center there, this is like it's a green and gold vanity tray, and it has like marble, and it's very rich looking. And there's like a crown holder in the middle for the candle, a green candle. I have dollars of different denominations on the bottom. I have different crystals on top of that. Then I have, let's see, so I have like the lucky cats, I have the singer, and I have a picture of Madam C.J. Walker, who is a self-made millionaire, for hair care products. And whenever I, this is a space that is it's sacred to me, but it represents my wealth. So it represents my entrepreneurship. It represents my music career. So this is where I work every week. Now, this is in addition to whatever other altar that you might have, but this is something that I tend to every week, because when you tend to your money, or you tend to your goal, it's going to tend to you. So when you say, okay, I want to become more powerful, or I want to be more confident, or I want to write a book, how about create a small little space? It doesn't even have to take up this much space. It could be like a little mock-up that you make with a book that says, buy my name, put your name on it. It could be a house. It could be a baby, something that is dedicated to your intention. Yes, I am a Capricorn. Yes, we're all Capricorns. Yes, Tanessa. Now, does anyone already do this? Does anyone already have like a sacred space toward a particular goal or wish? Or let me ask you this, who would be interested in trying something like this? Because like for success jar. And the idea, though, is you want to tend to it, like light candles on it. Exactly. Thank you. I don't, but want to. Yeah, this isn't really difficult to do. And as I said, it doesn't even have to be fancy. You might just have like one of those money trees, those money bamboo trees that you can get from certain neighborhoods. Something that represents, because like this is when you are taking your you're not just saying you have an intention, but you are dedicating a space to it. Yes, platypus. This is my permanent money altar as well. This is my permanent place. And Maria says my husband's business card is on it with a goal he put on it on the back at the end of the year, and he has exceeded it already. This is what I'm talking about. So I would recommend that you create a sacred space in your home dedicated to whatever your intention or intentions are. And then I recommend that you light a candle onto it once a week, because the candle is you showing up to it. If you just say, oh, I want to get married, but you don't really do anything about it, you don't make any change in your home, it's easy to forget. So this is you saying, okay, here's a sacred, this is my, it's not just a reminder, but this is like a sacred place that holds this dream. And I light a candle on it once a week on a day that you feel that you decide works for you, to tell spirit, your ancestors, God, your higher power, whomever you are working with, to say, this is important to me and I am working towards it. I am moving towards it. I am creating this in my life. Now, what color recommend? It all depends on whatever that you are trying to create. So this is like my wealth altar. So this is going to be green. If you were looking to create love in your life, or self-love, pink is the way to go. If you want more sex, like say you want to have more sex in 2021, I would say go for the red. If you want success, it could be purple, orange, or gold. If you were one of the ones who were saying you wanted to have more like communication with your family, or you want a more peaceful home, everyone more chilled out, then I would say a blue candle. So these are, you would choose the color based on the intention that you want to create. Lord Divine says, I have 3 altars already. I'm not sure if I have any more space. But remember, it doesn't have to be, it could just be a picture. It could be just, you see how I have this picture of Madam C.J. Walker? You could just make a picture and then put like a little birthday candle in front of it. It does not have to be a major thing. But this is about how important is your goal to you? How important is this thing to happen? Then it has to become it needs to have a permanent home, a representation of your dream. Purple is healing. Purple is also power. So, and also if you have a particular, like when I do different classes like candle magic or spellcraft, I will talk about the different meanings of colors, but these are also colors that are, that mean something to me. If different colors have a different meaning to you, then by all means, you're going to use what is most meaningful to you. Magic is the most powerful when we have a personal connection. So make sure that you choose colors or items that are meaningful to you. What if you don't have an altar? Carla, if you have like a picture, just like a little picture frame of something that represents what you have or what you want. And also if you're like living at home with family and you really don't want to be, you don't want to, you're not trying to raise any alarms, shall we say, say you want to move out, right? So you want to maybe have a picture of a living room or an apartment where you might like to live, and you just have that little picture there, and you have something else and if your mom or whoever asks, oh, what's this about, and they're like, oh, I saw this picture, I think it's really cute. You don't tell everyone what you're trying to do, especially if you feel like they're going to be very negative about it. So just the smallest you could do, the smallest sacred space you could have, is to take a picture in a picture frame or put it on your wall, something that you see over and over again that just makes you feel good. Oh, another trick. When I used to work in an office and I was trying to do my first CD and I couldn't get the money together, I couldn't, whatever, I was frustrated. I made like a mock-up of the CD and I put it on my desk at work. I put it on the computer monitor. And also whenever I was pissed off or whenever I was having a bad day, I would look at that little picture on my monitor and be reminded, this is why I'm working so hard. This is what I'm trying to go for. So that's even in itself a mini altar, having a mock-up, a little picture of something that you are aiming for, that you are working towards. Let's see. That's a good question. Amelia asked, which candle should I use for moving out altar? I would say try purple or orange because it's a success and it's expansion. So maybe purple. Purple might be good for moving out. Can you use one altar for everything? I personally will have a separate altar just for like that special thing. But if you have, if you don't have the room, then try to work it out the best you can. Yes, traveling altar. Ah, yes. Burba says keeps it in a closet in her locker. Very good. Hey, Burba. Yes, Hollywood hippie witch. Yes, Lucy. Keep it quiet. Only tell people that you absolutely trust. Yes, you can also light incense. Yes, it's all the same because when you're lighting an incense, I'm lighting incense too. The smoke is taking your intention up into the ethers. Can you have more than one candle to represent what you want to manifest? Well, if they are similar, if they are like complementary, then go ahead. But depending on if this is like a really big thing, you might want to focus on more than one. I mean, on just one. So it's like if you're like, I want to start a business and I want to have a baby, that is a lot right there. Like I'm just giving that as an example. Those are two babies if you think about it. And there's going to be a whole bunch of skills that you need for one and a whole bunch of skills to do with the other thing. So to have these two things possibly working against each other might not be your best interest. So I would say try to shoot for like what is the biggest one that you want and start with that. Okay. All right. So next thing, meditation. Now, when we're praying or when we're doing a ritual, that is when we are reaching out to spirit, to God, higher power, whomever you're working with. Meditation is when you're quiet and you are still and you allow for information to come to you. This is where we get our best ideas. This is where we get our inspirations by being still. Today, I discovered that this woman, Sheila Marie. So if anyone is into meditation, she has a meditation mixtape available on Spotify. I thought that was really interesting. So if you are into meditation, that's something you want to try. Now, I know other people feel like, you know what, if I try to meditate and close my eyes, I fall asleep or anyone like that. Like I'm not even, oh, that's Ace Hood's wife. Oh, I was wondering. Okay, cool. Put her name in the chat. Yes, Sheila Marie. Oh, let's see. Sheila. Oops, I can spell. Oh, good. Someone just put it. Thank you. Thank you. Ash just put the name in there. So yeah, you can get her on, you can find her meditation mixtape right now on Spotify. Now, for those of you who find meditation and being still a challenge, on the right hand side, this is me knitting. I used to knit and I'm really awful. I'm an awful knitter, but I can knit on a train. This is like me knitting on a train. I can even stand up and knit at the same time while on a moving subway. I got really good at it. At least the standing up part. The knitting itself, I suck. But that is not why I knit. I knit because it's a moving meditation. When my hands are doing things, that's when I'm able to just kind of zone out. That's when ideas come for me. For some people, it might be washing dishes. Washing dishes is another good meditation for me. My mom, she loved to iron clothes, whatever. But hey, that's what floats her boat. Good for her. So it's like, so don't feel that you have to be someone who always is like still all the time, but it might be walking in nature. Now, it's so very important when you are thinking about what it is that you want to create next year, when you are trying, maybe you have like two big things in your mind and you're like, I don't know, what should I do? Well, take some time walking in nature, do some meditation, do some knitting, whatever that is for you, to open up, your third eye and just say, okay, what is right for me right now? What should I focus on first? What do I need to know about this thing? Meditation is really good for this. When we surround ourselves with sounds and all kinds of noise, it's hard for spirit to get through. It's hard for our intuition to speak to us. And when we are still, that's when that voice gets so loud, and that's when it tells us you need to leave that man. That relationship's not good for you. You know, it's time for you to say yes to this person or this job, or you need a new job. You should start your own business. These ideas come through the best when we allow room for them. So meditation is awesome. Oh, Felicia says she paints for meditation. Yep. Yes, Tanessa. Yep. She goes, yep, those nature walks are everything. Yes, Tanessa. I see all those wonders. Now, Tanessa lives in Seattle, I think in Washington State, and it's so beautiful there. And she takes advantage of those walks because I see her pictures on her IG. And this is what's very, very important. And we cannot put so many things on our plate that we don't have time for spirit to speak to us. We got to make time. We have to listen to what those things are, because that's also when we find out, do this, don't do that, go to that place, call that person. That comes through during meditation. Oh, yes, yes, thank you. Platypus also recommends listening to binaural beats at 528 hertz. So I know that there's a lot of those different kinds of binaural beats available on YouTube. So you don't have to spend money on these things if you don't have to. And again, Shayla Marie, for example, she's available, her meditation mixtapes are available on Spotify. So these are things while you're trying to figure out what it is that you want to do next, what you want your life to look like, what you want 2021 to bring you. Make sure that you leave time and space to meditate. Oh, Jamil says, what about those meditation YouTube videos for the subconscious mind while you sleep? I've used them, but since I don't make them, I don't know what kind of, I would imagine, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I mean, they might feel cool and calm on the outside, but I don't know if there's like any other messages that are coming through. But I kind of feel like, how do I feel about them? How do I feel when I wake up in the morning? Did I feel like I slept well? Did I feel like it made a difference for me? You could try different ones. I haven't been listening to any like subconscious methods, but you might find something that you like. Ooh. Cassie says, I listen to rain sounds on YouTube. I used to run a lot in the past and thoughts would come. I need to start up again. There you go. TJ plays binaural beats on YouTube every day while I sleep. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, Jamil says some are supposed to send out positive affirmations. Exactly. But sometimes I'm kind of feeling like, well, I want to know, like, if I can't hear it, I would rather just do my own affirmations. Cause like, how do I know for sure? I mean, I know that they're supposed to be subconscious thing, but I don't know. So my thing is, try it and see if you feel any different. Because if you try it and you like the way you feel, then definitely do it. See, someone else says, I don't trust it. He goes like, I don't know if it's I don't know. So find, or, you can also make your own. If you can have some affirmations that you make and you can record on your phone and then play it back for yourself when you're doing your thing, when you're out walking. So, something to do. I would prefer to do my own affirmation recording than do someone else's subconscious message, because I don't know what kind of messages are coming through. I'm jaded. What can I tell you? Okay. Oh, one more. Astrid recommends chakra healing frequency music as well. Oh, yes, that's a good one. And Platypus says cooking is meditation for her too. So yes, that is for them. So cooking is great. Washing dishes is great. Ironing is great. For knitting is great. Like, if that is your thing, definitely like make time for that. Ooh, Stevie Wonder. See, Cassandra said, I don't like it. I tried it a few times and it felt weird. See, there you go. Yoga, dancing. Yes, all of these are wonderful, wonderful activities that you want to like get in touch with spirit so spirit can get in touch with you. So divination. So now for many of us, before we do like a ritual, some kind of magical spell, it's always good to do divination, because there's sometimes other messages that come through that tell us about the situation. So for example, someone might say, well, I want to do a love spell for this particular person, which, I'm not really big on doing spells for, love spells for specific people, but it happens all the time. I get it. I've done it myself. I'm not going to lie. But let's say you decided, before just going ahead and popping off and doing a love spell, you decided to do a reading first, especially if you had someone else do it for you. that reading could uncover something like that person is with someone else, or that person might have a serious drug problem, or there might be other issues that are going on. And divination is really helpful to figure out these things before you put your energy into a ritual. So this isn't like, saying, oh, you can't do what you want to do. I'm not trying to be like a gatekeeper and say that you can't do what you want to do. You're free to do whatever you want. But the beauty of divination is that whether you're using a pendulum, or you're reading tea leaves or runes or rolling dice or tarot, you get a little more information around the situation. Sometimes you might get information on suggestions on what you can do. You can get places that you might want to go to meet a person or to find another position. And it's not, you're no longer just working on what you know in front of you. Divination is giving you another layer of information that's not as obvious. So, and is anyone doing divination for their, or does anyone, is anyone doing divination for any of these things that they're talking about? Like they want more self-confidence, or they want, what other these things? Yes, platypus. Mm-hmm. Good, good. Because I didn't always, I was just like, I want what I want. I'm just going to do it. Yeah, all the time. See, y'all learned before I did. I was hard-headed, but as many of you know, hard head, soft behind. That's what my mom always said. Oh, all right. So another thing you can use, astrology. Yes, my grandma says that. Thank you. So astrology. Who uses astrology? Well, or maybe who doesn't use astrology? Is there anyone here who doesn't use astrology at all when it comes to making plans for themselves, or creating their manifestations? Is there anyone who doesn't use astrology? I don't. Okay. Oh, all right. Get confused by it. Now, what I'm going to suggest isn't, it's not, I'm not saying that now astrology itself is like this huge uh place. It's this huge field of study. And so when I suggest astrology, I'm not saying that you have to like learn or hire an astrologer or anything, but I like for people to know the basics and why I suggest. So as I said, there's so many great astrologers or astrologists online on IG, and they teach a lot of great stuff. And you, when you learn basic things like, what's your sun sign, what's your moon sign, what's your rising sign, just that basic three, that can teach you a lot about yourself. Now, when it comes to astrology in the world, you can also learn, you can plan things. So for example, right now we are in Sagittarius season, and we will soon be going into Capricorn season. Capricorn season, yeah. I'm a Capricorn, right? Okay, so every season has a particular energy that you can use. So when you are planning your next ritual, or you're planning your next move, you can at least get a little extra guidance, a little helpful push from the universe. So, and when I mean astrology, I mean things like so Capricorn, which is December, starting December 21st. That's my season, so I can speak about that one. It's structure, business, fatherhood, like just set. It's kind of like it's very much a grounding kind of sign. So it tends to be a good time of the year for planting, not just planting seeds, but like getting your structures together. And then in February after that, then it is Aquarius. And then after that for March is Pisces. Now, each one of these different months has its own energy. So what if, when you're looking at your plan for whatever it is that you want to create, what if you were to use, who's calling me? Sorry. Um, you could use this energy for your best interest. So you could plan it. What about that? Then you can also do things like plan around the moon. In some of my other classes, we talk about the different phases of the moon, the new moon and the full moon. The new moon is good for planting seeds. The full moon is that's manifesting. And when the moon is getting smaller, when it is waning, that is good for letting go of things. So you can also help yourself a lot by choosing certain, you can use different moon phases. You can incorporate those in your plans as well, in your astrology, in your rituals. And finally, there's the days of the week. The days of the week, Monday through Sunday. Each day is ruled by a different planet or a different, god, goddess. And because of that, it also has a different energy. So Mondays, we're going to feel a little differently than we might feel like on a Tuesday. Now, some people, I know some of you who are like into like the hourly thing, and I don't go that deep into it, but if that is something that that's something that's important to you, or something that resonates with you, then you can totally do it. So astrology is just another tool that you can use when you are planning your year. So after you are setting your magical foundation for whatever it is that you want to manifest, you're like, okay, I want to do whatever this is. You can also look at different, so you can look at, okay, what are these next 3 months coming, like what are these next 3 months, what are the energies that are going to be present that I can work with, which moons will be helpful, and which days of the week. These are just simple things that you can use to help plan your strategy for your magical foundation. Ooh, Arden, if you haven't noticed it, Arden has shared a link to birth chart online from AstroSeek. So there's moon magic, there's days of the week, there's the month, and the more you know about astrology, you can also work with your personal chart. I'm not going that deep for that today, but just to let you know, these are things that you can do when you're like, okay, I really want to do this. If you really want to manifest whatever this is for you, this is another tool in your toolbox. Vision boards, someone mentioned them earlier. Who's got vision boards? Yep. We are a vision board family, I know. Right here in front of you, this is a Pinterest vision board that I made a while back. This is Dream Home. So looking at it, it's very cozy. There's lots of plants, lots of light. This kind of gives you an idea of what I like. Oh, there's a bathtub in there. Yeah, I love my bathtubs. I don't have one yet, but I will. And vision boards are fantastic for keeping your vision near, a vision that you can see and you can look at. And I was saying yesterday in our Happy Witchy Hour that, well, my husband had never heard of vision boards before me, and I started telling him about it, and he said that before me, he thought a vision board was what you saw when you went to the eye doctor, the eye doctor, with those letters. He thought that's what a vision board was. But no, dear, that's not what a vision board is. And he started making his own vision board. So he put a guitar on it. He put his desired weight. He wanted to lose weight. He had like a scale, and he put like a number on there. He had another car. He got a car, like a new van, and the van happened to have 2 kayaks on it in his picture, and some other stuff. Long story short, he got everything that's on there, including he lost the weight. So it's like he can't even believe it. He is a muggle and an atheist, people. So I'm like, okay, what else do we want? It's time to have some new stuff. Exactly. Uncle Jim was like, yeah. So by the way, he had put like a van on it, and the van had 2 kayaks in his picture. And we were looking at it yesterday. I'm like, wait, we now have 2 kayaks. And I thought that was an interesting thing. Like, we didn't know that we were planning to be like a 2 kayak family, but now we are. But it was on his it was it was on his vision board. Yes, I did show him the light. So now I'm like, okay, now it's time to do some new stuff. We need to make some new things happen. Anyway, so a vision board can help you formulate, can help you see what it is that you want. So it's not just in your brain. And how I like to do vision boards, I really like doing them on Pinterest, because I can make them a secret, so no one has to see them but me. And I can also upload my own pictures onto Pinterest. And the other thing that I like to do with Pinterest is I like to show up to the vision board once a day and at least upload one picture. So, like when in the old days, you'd have the big poster board and you'd stick a whole bunch of pictures on there. So what, instead, you'd run out of paper, you'd run out of space, and that would be it. With a vision board on Pinterest, you can keep adding to it. And by adding to it, you are just like with your having a sacred space and altar for it, you keep showing up to your vision and you make it a daily habit. So it's not about going to the vision board and putting up a whole bunch of pictures all at once and then walking away from it. My recommendation is that you make this vision board, but you show up to it every day. Just put one new picture on there. Like start it out with like 10 pictures or so, but then each day add one picture, add another picture, add another picture, and your brain starts to like take it in. So it's a really exciting thing. So by the way, I want to let you know, I am doing a vision board tutorial on Tuesday, and it's a free thing. It's in the group. If you're not in the group, I'm going to send a replay of that as well. So I'm going to do it separately because it takes a little time. Because I've been talking about them all year, right? So I figure that it is time for me to show you how to do them if you don't know how to do them. And I'm going to show you two different ways. So I'm going to show you how to make a vision board on Pinterest. And then, because with Pinterest, you can have it like it can be private. But I'm also going to show you how to make a vision board using Canva. And these are all free things. And with Canva, you can make a wallpaper for your phone or for your desktop. That way, every time you come to your computer, you're like, ooh, look at all the things that I want, all the things that I'm going to manifest. The whole point is like, you want to keep seeing these things, that you want to be able to see your manifestation every day. It's not about, I'm just going to talk about it and then I'm going to walk away and forget about it. I want you to be reminded every single day of your vision, of your dream. This is how it gets in your brain, because we start to get ideas and inspirations, and then we start to see things that we didn't see before because they were on our vision board. So yes, Canva is really great for that. Canva, I love Canva. Canva is an online graphic program. It's based online. There's a free version. You don't have to pay for anything. So I will be sending information about that. But I think Tuesday at 1 o'clock, same time, Tuesday, 1 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a live tutorial on creating a vision board with both Canva and Pinterest. So something to do. So that'll be something for the challenge. Yeah, the free version is all you need. You don't need to spend any money on that. Never heard of it? All right, Ayana, well, you're going to hear about it now. It's just a great online way to have your dream. So that is, that's basically it. Yeah, so you're going to have a vision board. And this is one of the best things you can do to get yourself started for the next year. Okay, next thing. Ritual bath, spiritual bath, intentional bath. Who's taking baths? Who's saying, okay, I want to add more money into my life. I want to meet my soulmate. Who's taking those intentional baths? Yes, exactly. There's power in plants and herbs, and salts, and we can incorporate those things into our baths or showers, however you want to use it. And we can do this even when we're thinking, okay, I want to get a new job. Why not? Why not have a bath for that? I want to have a better home environment. I want to stop arguing. I want to have a peaceful home with my husband. I want stuff to chill out. you can take a bath for that. You can take a bath for, to prepare yourself for whatever this is that you want to manifest. I love, 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 love spiritual baths for this. So that's kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, Michelle, they need to come over and let me use their tub too, because I don't have a bathtub at the moment. But that's okay, because I'm going to eventually move to a home, a larger home, and I'm going to have a bathtub. I already told Uncle Jim that is a deal breaker. I'm not moving anywhere that doesn't already have a bathtub. Y'all hear me?
Okay.
Yeah. But we could do showers, though. We could definitely do showers. We can have those herbs and steep them in water and then just pour them over our bodies inside the shower. So this is still very, very powerful when it comes to setting your intentions. Yes, it still works. And of course, perform those rituals. Whether you're doing candles or some other kind of spell. We're my ritual people. I mean, I imagine all of us are to some extent. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this class, right? Oh, that's good, Michelle. She says, first thing on my vision board, fancy bathtub. I like that. Yes. Yeah, see, rituals, that's really where to go. I mean, so it's not about, okay, I want to get this job, but I'm not going to do anything about it. If I want a new job or there's something else that I'm trying to make happen, I'm going to do a ritual for it. I'm going to be lighting some kind of candle. Now, that's not going to be the only thing I do. Keep that in mind. I'm going to be updating the resume. I'm going to be, calling around to see where the interview. Well, actually, let me not say that, because I'm not trying to work for anybody else anymore. Anyway, let me not even try to affirm that. But let's see. But let's say I'm trying to get a house, right? Let's say I want to get a house. So then I'm going to be working on my credit, right? I want to make sure that I'm paying down my debt. I'm going to be looking at different neighborhoods. I'm going to be talking to people, but I'm also going to be performing some rituals. I'm going to be doing some kind of, find the house thing, or find the neighborhood, or let me see, where do I want to live? I'm going to be doing some kind of ritual about it. Or if I find something, I'm like, okay, I want to make sure that the bid that we make gets it. Or if you have to do some kind of planning with the mortgage, a ritual is adding that extra layer of magic. So if you were trying to get a job or new job, then the ritual adds that extra layer of magic that somehow gets your resume on the top of the stack, or gets your resume into the right person's hands, or it's what helps you you're going to the store or somewhere and you run into someone you've never seen or you haven't seen in 5 years, and they tell you about a position that is perfect for you. This is where the ritual comes through. This is where that magic comes through. You could definitely do a lot of stuff on your own, and you can, prepare for your interview and dress really nice. And all of those things are still very, very important. But the ritual adds the secret sauce. This helps us get what we want. It also helps us to have the self-confidence that we need. It helps us to just have that little extra thing that people don't know why they want to work with you, but they do. They don't know why they want to, like, wow, I don't know why this woman on this dating app, there's something about her. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna match her. It's that extra thing. Like, I don't know what the hell magic is, but we perform rituals that connect us with the divine so that we are able to stand out when we want to be seen, and sometimes, hide when we don't want to be seen. But the idea behind magic is to help us to tune in to the energy of of the universe, of the world, of spirit, and create advantages for ourselves. So definitely do not let magic be your last resort. Make it your first. Deanna B said, I just had this happen. All right, hold on phone. Let's see. Let me just check on something. 160. Okay. Okay, we have. Okay, just making sure that everyone has what we need. Okay, great. Oh, what's an example of a ritual? There you go. Okay, so Brandy, a ritual could be something like a candle, like a, when we have birthdays, the most basic candle spell ritual of them all is the birthday candle. What do? We put a candle or candles on someone, well, maybe pre-COVID, we'd put a candle on a cake. Everyone would sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. You close your eyes, make a wish, and you blow it out. That's the most simple ritual of them all. And you do not have to wait for your birthday to do a birthday candle ritual. Actually, these days, I prefer that you don't, because when you're surrounded by people who are waiting for you to blow out your candle so they can eat the cake, there's a lot of pressure there. So I recommend doing, especially for those of you who are still in the broom closet and you can't perform, magic out in front of people, get a small birthday candle, put it in like a cup with uncooked rice or salt or sand. You think about your manifestation, that your wish, and then you let it burn out all the way. That could take like 3 to 4 minutes, which will feel like forever, but it's a very powerful ritual. So that's the most simple thing that you can do, Brandy. So birthday candle spells, easy and quick, and they're taking your wish, your dream, your intention, and putting it out into the universe so it can manifest. Fantastic. Can you repeat that? Okay, so a birthday candle in its basic form, take a birthday candle, you can put it in a small cup, a shot glass, it doesn't matter what it is, put it in a glass and you hold it up using uncooked rice or salt or sand, something that will not burn. And by you put that you put the candle in that glass or whatever cup thing that you're holding it with, you make your wish, you light the candle, or you light the candle, make your wish, and then you allow it to burn all the way down while you are visualizing or affirming what it is that you want to manifest. And for that candle to burn down without people waiting for you to blow it out, it will take about 3 or 4 minutes, which is longer than you can ever imagine, but it's perfect for making that wish and setting your intention into the universe. Oh, that's great, Astrid. I saved my boyfriend's birthday candles from his cake and burned them down to seal a success jar for his birthday wish, with his permission, of course. That's fantastic. Dang, Astrid, that's really smart. Your boyfriend's very lucky. And then let's see. So we have all kinds of rituals, though. Some rituals can also be things like some people like charms or like little puppets or dolls. Yeah, just like different ritual. I prefer candles because I like a one-stop shop kind of thing, or a one-pot meal. Oh, Denny has a great idea too. You can buy colored sand. You can buy colored sand and candles from the dollar store. Yes, that's a great idea, especially if you want to incorporate color magic into your ritual. So I know that I've personally bought colored sand from Michael's. And so they come in all these different colors. So if you wanted to have your little candle match the color of the sand in your glass, that can also be very powerful. So that's another way to incorporate color magic into your rituals. Yeah, so Dollar Tree has sand. That's wonderful. Laura asked, will the fire from the candle burn the salt or sand? No, that's why we want salt or sand or uncooked rice. They will not burn. So if they get too close to, when they get to the sand or the salt or the sand, salt, or the uncooked rice, it will extinguish itself. So nothing else, anything else will burn. We use those substances because they will not burn. Yes, they're fire deterrents. Thank you, Danielle. Oh, Carla says, so we can save our birthday candles and burn them later or days later with our intentions. Yes, you can, actually. That's a really great idea. Yes. So if you have birthday candles, if your birthday is coming up and you have it left over, you're like, oh, what do I do with it? Yeah, save it and burn it somewhere else while other people aren't waiting for you. Because I don't know if you've ever had this problem, but even if I know what I want, if I'm like at some kind of birthday party situation and people are standing around waiting for me to blow out the candle, my mind goes blank and I'm like, what do I want? Wait, what do I want? I can't remember. You know, like does it happen to you like when it's 11:11, you see the clock and it's 11:11? I'm like, wait, what do I want? What do I want? Anyone? Is that just me? Exactly. I'm like 11:11. Wait, what's my wish? Ah, Daniel says some people might be hating on your wishes too, hoping they don't come true. Man, yeah, it reminds me of that video meme that was really popular like a couple months ago. Is that little girl? She was like 3 years old. And she was right about to blow the candle, and then I think that was her sister came and blew the candle out, and then she was like, ah! Oh man, I was so, and then the sister had the nerve to be like, that just makes me mad, right? That was a really funny meme, but I felt so bad for that little girl because she was all excited. It was her birthday. It's like, this is my birthday, and everyone is looking at me, and I got my cake, and I'm gonna blow out my wish, and blah, blah. And then the sister just comes out and blows it out, and then has the nerve to shrug, like, so. Yeah, I would have been like, I would have grabbed that hair too. But anyway, performing rituals on your own terms. You can do a birthday candle, you can do a 7-day candle, you can do whatever kind of candle that you choose. Grocery store candles, dollar store candles, tea lights, votives. There's so many different ways, but please include rituals of some sort in your goal. Yep, no remorse whatsoever. It's true. And then an intention circle. Now, one of the beautiful things about like these classes are that like everyone is so cool and supportive. And I know that so many of us don't have the same kind of community outside. You know, we have to come online to have this kind of, you know, to get this community and support. And you know, there's people that we will never meet in real life who are just like, yeah, you go, girl, I love you. And we mean it. You know, how many people have that? Like, there's people that, I mean, there's so many of you that I may never meet, but I swear to God, I love y'all because you're just so wonderful, amazing people, just such great energy, great spirit. And yes, Platypus says, I adore my little digital coven. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. This is an intention circle because when we're trying to make something happen, when we are, you know, I was saying, you know, when we tell the wrong person, they will say something that will hurt our feelings. It will make us doubt ourselves or doubt our dream. So it is so important to have an intention circle, to have people with you who are supportive of you, who are like, you go, you do your thing. Yeah, I believe in you, because it's so important. It's so much more important to have people like that than people who are around you who are like, I don't know who she thinks she is. You know, no, we're not doing that. We are all about a community of people who are sharing our own wishes, and we are wishing well for others. So yeah, I want to win, but I want y'all to win too. And y'all want each other to win. That is what I'm talking about. We don't always have this in real life, but we will have it online, right? Yay. I wish I could meet all you in real life as well. And not like I have to break it down, but let me give you more reasons. So if you are in some kind of intention circle, you have like-minded journey companions. So you don't have to explain what a ritual is to someone, you know, you like to someone who's outside who doesn't understand, who's like, ooh, that's witchcraft. No, you want people who are also in that same vibe with you, who are like, oh, you should use this kind of candle, or oh, Dollar Tree has these kind of things. Like, you want people who are going to be supportive. So community support for your goal. When you say, I want to have a baby this year, then they say, you know what, I'm holding that vision for you, girlfriend. Or you say, oh, I want to start a business, they'll be like, all right, I want that for you too. And then also, if who are my law of attraction people? And because I asked that because an intention circle also creates like this law of attraction vortex. When in law of attraction, we talk about like attracts like. There we go. They're my attraction, my law of attraction people. So when we are around people who are positive, like we are, who are going for similar goals, we're creating like this vortex of energy, of really powerful energy. I guess it's the best way to when you're just by yourself, one person equals one. But if you get one plus one, who are people who are in the same frequency, you get 11. I don't know how that math works, but that's how it works. If I'm talking to you about something that you're trying to make happen, and I'm talking, and we're vibing, and we're like, oh yeah, that's a really great idea. Hey, but have you tried this? Oh, you need to read this book. Oh, I really love the binaural beats on YouTube. That what we're creating right now, this is magic. This is magic to me. And this is vortex. And then also, when you are in an intention circle of people who are like a coven, or whatever you want to call it, you also have the access to group manifestation rituals. So then it's not just you doing your ritual by yourself, but then you have maybe other people doing a ritual with you. Or like in the case of earlier this year, when we were doing like a protection ritual on like a live stream where everyone is participating together. So everyone is doing like their own ritual at their home, but they're doing it live. And there's all this wonderful energy and magic that's created. And this is what you could do when you're in an intention circle. So I say all of that to say, this is what I'm working on for the new year. This is the challenge, right? This is the intention intensive challenge. And by the way, I have an assignment for y'all. So stay tuned. But before I tell you the assignment, I want to tell you what I'm working on right now for the new year. It's a brand new course, and it's called the Intention Intensive. And this is going to be different from the thing that I usually do, in that this is going to be a paid course where everyone gets together and we learn a whole bunch of stuff together. So I'm offering a pre-sale. So the pre-sale, there are intensive sessions on January 23rd, 24th, and you get personalized help with creating your rituals, customized spell prescriptions, because some of y'all are like, oh, well, what do I need to do with this? Or can I get a road opener spell? Y'all know that I love to share my spells. I got you. And a manifestation power playlist, because those are really fun. So I have a few people in the group who did this with me last year, and we had a lot of fun playing and choosing music. So that's just something else that that you can do. And I just want to break it down what we'll be doing January 23rd and 24th. So January 23rd is Prepare Your Intention. That's at 11 a.m. And at Michelle, and January 23rd at 1 p.m. it's Protect Your Intention. And then we're going to have a live group manifestation ritual. I'm really excited. That's going to be on Sunday at 11. And then at Sunday at 1, we have a plan to receive. So everyone is going to work out a customized 90-day manifestation plan for your based on your astrology chart. And if that is not enough, I'm also offering free classes. So I'm also offering as a bonus, because these classes, like the live classes, are January 23rd, January 24th. But in the meantime, included with your purchase are the recordings and master classes, candle magic, spiritual cord cutting, shadow work magic, prosperity magic, and ultimate love magic. No, you do not have to have a Facebook for this. I will have a group for it, but you don't have to be in it in order to do that. It's gonna be like if you want more, if you want more support for that. Oh, I love it. You're like, how do I sound? Yeah. So this is like, so y'all are gonna love, because I knew that all like my ride or dies were gonna be here today. I'm giving a really awesome price. So because this is like something a little more intense, this is going to be like an intimate group, and we're going to be doing stuff. It's $197. But hold up. For my ride or dies who are here today, $47. $47. And I'm calling this the extra early bird special, because this is for the extra early birds, because it doesn't start until January 23rd. But you will have access to those courses right now. Yes, you can sign up today. Yes, if you go to queenupclub.com/extra, you will get that. And then, okay, I'll give it, okay. Because we still have an assignment. I promise, I got more for you. Oh, Oh, I should write down the price. I should, yeah. Hold on, let me give you the thing. You this week. You don't have to do it today. If you can get it today, that'd be great. I'm doing it till next Sunday. So if you want to, because it's going to go up next week. It's going up next week, but for today, I'm offering it for 47 this week, I should say. HTTPS queenupclub.com/extra because we extra. Oh, good. Yeah, good. You get paid Tuesday. Yeah, so y'all can get this up until next Sunday. The price is going to go up next week, but for now, because I want to find out like who's into this, whatever. It's going to be a small group, I imagine, or at least intimate. But we are going to have a live manifestation group, and then if you need like personal help with getting a particular spell prescription, I always have a hard time saying that word. I'm your girl, and then I can also help you with an astrology plan for the next 90 days. All right, so then I have an assignment. The assignments for this week, because we're coming back next week, but for this week, let's see, week 1, I would like for you to perform some kind of divination and or meditation on your intentions, like whatever that is for 2021. And I would like for you to choose one main intention. I'm not saying you can only do one, but choose the bigger one, like whatever one that you feel like, what is that thing that you like would really change your life? You're like, and sometimes it can be hard because you're like, do I want money or do I want a man? You know, like, or a relationship, you know, whatever that is for you. And sometimes you're like, I want both. And I get that. But like, if you had to focus on one, like what is like the main one? So imagine like a big circle and a slightly smaller circle. What is your main intention? And then I'd like you to create a digital vision board. So as I said, I'm going to send out an email with the replay, and Tuesday at 1:00, I am going to be doing a vision board how-to tutorial, and I'll be sending out a replay for that as well. And if you are already in the Marie Lazo Queen Up Club group, come and share your intention. Let us know what you want to do. Yeah, I would love to find. Janessa goes, money. Well, you know what? We want to get specific though, not just money. How much money? I want to know. Well, you don't have to tell me, but I want you to be specific on what it is that you want to create, or what you want to, you know, what you want to manifest in your life. So I'm going to turn off the recording, and we're going to do some question and answer about anything that we talked about today. So this is the New Year challenge for the Intention Intensive. And again, if queenupclub.com/extra if you want to get that today or this week. And stand by. Where's my recording button? Stop recording. Okay.